Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today we are continuing with our series on the Sun through the signs, and we are gonna talk about the archetype of Taurus, especially if you have a Taurus Sun or wherever you have Taurus within your chart. You are gonna be able to apply that energy that I will be talking about to the life area where you have Taurus in. Also remember, I am here to actually break down astrology and really show you deep insights that are gonna help you to live a more fulfilled life, and I'm really here to break down all of the mainstream side of astrology that we are seeing today. I'm here to actually show you astrology from a completely different perspective. I really love to help you understand that astrology is actually closely tied to psychology, and I love to share that wisdom with you so that you can live a more aligned life. And if you are new here, hi, I'm Anna and I'm your spiritual lifestyle coach and an astrologer, and this sounds very spiritual, but actually my whole goal is to help you to live up to your fullest potential, because let's be honest, 99.9% of people are not using their fullest potential because we are not aware of what's actually within us. And I'm here to change that, and I am here to help you, to guide you on your journey towards living a more fulfilled life and towards just waking up every day excited about your life and your life's purpose. So if that sounds like something that you are interested in, even though you're not spiritual, check out all of my offers. I will link everything down below. We can work one-on-one. I can do a birth chart reading for you, and you will see it has so much to do with psychology. You will be just blown by the information that I'm gonna provide you with. So check out my offers, and now let's get on to the video. So first of all, let's talk about the archetypal energy of Taurus. So when we think about Aries, which is the first zodiac sign, it is the sign of initiation. And then the second sign is Taurus, which really takes that initiation and grounds it in order to actually create something around that and to use all of the resources that are provided in order to create something out of it, something that is gonna last and something that is gonna provide stability. This is the main purpose of the Taurus energy, to really create something and to use the resources that are provided to the best of the abilities. And so therefore, Taurus really embodies the energy of stability and groundedness. And that's why individuals who really have a lot of Taurus energy within their charts, or if you have a Taurus Sun, your purpose is gonna be to actually create a solid foundation, especially within the life area that you are gonna have your Sun in. So if you don't know how to interpret the position of your Sun within the houses, go ahead and check out the other video that I did about that, because there I'm really explaining to you the meaning of the Sun through each of the houses. I'm gonna leave it right here for you so you can go ahead and check it out after you've seen this one. But now let's continue with the Taurus energy. So really it is there to actually build stability and to make the most out of its resources. Taurus people are really aware of their own resources, and that's why they are acting so calmly and with such a precaution and stability. That's why sometimes they really take a little bit longer to actually get things moving, because of this awareness that they have about the energy that they have within themselves, because the energy that we have within ourselves is our greatest resource, and Taurus people are really aware of that resource, and that's why they want to use it and to actually utilize that energy to the best of their abilities. And so really the Taurus energy invests time and effort into creating and building a reliable and secure material base that is gonna provide a sense of assurance and well-being. And because Taurus is also ruled by Venus, Taurians are really connected to the five senses, to the sense of pleasure. They love beautiful things and they love to just enjoy the tangible aspects of life, such as food and beautiful surroundings and also physical touch. And also because Taurus is the builder of the zodiac, they really are very patient and very determined when it comes to achieving their goals and actually building something. And also the Taurus archetype energy really carries that nurturing and generous quality. And also when we think a little bit further, the moon is exalted in Taurus, so the moon feels very, very good in Taurus because it gives us the emotional stability. So now let's analyze Taurus energy a little bit more further. Let's really analyze and dive deep into the archetype of the Taurean energy from a more psychological side. So really you could say that Taurus really embodies the archetype of the Mother Earth because of its nurturing qualities and because Taurus is also associated with fertility and just groundedness in general. This archetype is really deeply connected to the nature and all of the cycles that are within the nature, and therefore Taurus is really deeply connected to nature itself and to the cycles and rhythms of nature. And also the next point, when we think about the nurturing and supportive qualities, this is the same when we think about the Mother Nature archetype or Mother Nature in general, right? We are thinking about the energy that is providing for us, that is creating an environment for us that is gonna be secure and that is gonna allow us to build upon that. And this is the same with Taurus. Taurus are really taking care of the people around them, and they are really making sure that they are giving support to the people that they care about. Not in a Cancerian type of way, which focuses more about the feelings and providing the emotional support, whereas Taurus are more on the practical side, and they really like to make sure that the people that they care about have all of those practical necessities around them. Taurus people are really deeply connected to the nature itself, and it's really important for Taurian people to actually go outside and really connect to the nature, because this is gonna help you to ground you and to actually feel more connected to yourself. And furthermore, the Earth Mother archetype is often associated with fertility and growth, and it symbolizes the ability to cultivate and actually bring forth life, right? And in Taurus, this energy translates into the desire to actually build and nurture something, whether it's relationships or projects or just personal development in general. And also the Earth Mother archetype is really seen as the protector of life, and this really can also be applied to the Taurus energy because it manifests itself as a protector of the stability. That's why sometimes Taurian people are so stubborn and are sticking to the old ways, because they really want to protect the stability and they really dislike any change, because any change, when we think about that, is a disruption of stability. Even if down the line it's gonna bring us more stability, in that moment it is actually very disrupting energy, and this is something that Taurus people have a hard time dealing with. So now let's move on to the ego expression of the Taurus sign, the healthy version and the healthy ego expression of this archetype, as well as the unhealthy version of this archetype. So let's start with the healthy ego experience and expression of the Taurian energy. First of all, this would show us as stability and grounded confidence in oneself and in one's own resources. When a Taurus is healthy, he is gonna have a confidence that he can tackle any challenges that are gonna come along his way, and he's gonna be aware that he's able to actually create the desired outcomes and make the most out of his resources. Also, it's gonna show up as a material mastery and success. He's gonna be aware of all of those material things that are surrounding him. He is gonna be able to use it to his best abilities, but he's not gonna be blinded by all of those earthly desires and earthly needs. He is gonna know that he needs the stability, he's gonna know that he needs money in order to survive, but he's not gonna be overly attached to it. Also, next point, this is gonna show up as sensual wisdom. He is gonna be aware of his 5 senses, so the person is gonna really be aware of his or her body and therefore take care of it, because he sees the importance of taking care of your physical body. But you're not gonna be blinded by those sensual needs, but you are just gonna be aware that in order to be your best and to live your best life, you need to take care of your body and of your 5 senses, even if that means taking a nice bath and relaxing, because we are not able to actually constantly push ourselves to the limits, like Aries for example, because we need the time for ourselves to ground ourselves, to find the connection to our bodies again, so that we are able to build a stable connection. And also, if a Taurus is healthy, this is gonna show up as generosity and the need to nurture others and provide for them without being too possessive over them. It's gonna still allow the freedom for others while still providing the necessary support. Also, it's gonna show up as a balanced resistance to change, because change is good sometimes, but not always. So this is really gonna give a person the stability to actually resist any unnecessary changes and any disrupting changes. But once the person sees that a change is actually needed, he is gonna be confident enough to actually go with the change, because he will know that he is gonna be able to build that stability again and to build something that is gonna be even more stable, because the time for change sometimes really has to come and we need to be aware of that. And also, when the ego of the Taurus Sun is healthy, this is gonna show up as re-admiring or being creative, and also he will bring a touch of beauty to various aspects of his life, and this is such a beautiful thing about the Taurus energy. And so this was really the example of how the archetypal energy of Taurus is gonna show up in a healthy way. And now let's come to the shadow side of the Taurus energy and take a look at how it could show up when the ego of the person is unhealthy. So the first thing that comes to mind is when we think about Taurus, we think about the bull. So really the stubborn rigidity would be the first sign, because you will resist change at any cost and you will think that it's better to stay that way, because you also will probably think that you are right and you won't be able to admit your mistakes and admit that a change is actually needed. So you will stubbornly stick to the old ways. Then also this would show up as a materialistic obsession, because you wouldn't only be aware that you need all of those materialistic things in order to survive, you would really put all of your focus onto obtaining those materialistic things, because you would think that they are gonna provide you with happiness, which at the end they are not. They are necessary in order to survive and to build a life for yourself, but it shouldn't be your only focus. But many Taurus people with an unhealthy ego are gonna be overly attached to the material realm and to the material possessions that they have. Also, this could mean overindulgence. Taurus love their food and love trying out new restaurants and just going out to dinner with friends or family. In an unhealthy way, this could really mean overindulgence in things like food or just materialistic things in general, or just anything that has to do with the five senses. So this could also even mean overindulgence in, for example, sex without actually building the emotional connection, because you are only gonna be focusing on the pleasure sensations that you get, that you are gonna completely forget the emotional side of things. So this could also show up as one of those negative aspects within a Taurus person. Also, a hoarding mentality could be the case. So if you know anybody who is hoarding a lot of stuff, this could mean that they actually are embodying the negative traits of the Taurean energy, because you are so deeply connected and your value and your self-worth is so deeply connected to the material things that you can't let go of them, because it feels like you are letting a part of yourself go. So this could also show up as hoarding a lot of stuff, because you think the more stuff you have, the more your value is gonna actually increase, which is not the case at all. Also, next point would definitely be the lack of adaptability, because you are gonna be so stubborn to stick to your own ways and to stick to the ways that you know, that you are not gonna be able to actually adjust and adapt at the circumstances that life is gonna throw at you. You are gonna stubbornly go against it, and instead of actually going with it and going with the flow and actually seeing what is happening and how can you adjust in order to then create that stability that you are longing for. But sometimes we need to be able to adapt to the circumstances that life is actually throwing at us, because life doesn't always, and most of the times, doesn't go the way that we are planning it. So we really need to be able to adapt, and this can be very, very hard for an unhealthy Taurus individual. And really the last point would be financial insecurity, or really even anxiety towards not having enough. An unhealthy Taurus energy archetype is really so concerned with having enough, because he comes from the belief that the resources are gonna go away at some point. They are gonna be used up at some point. And this is really a core anxiety, really the fear of actually using the necessary resources. And the primal fear that the resources are gonna be used up at some point, and that's why you think like you really need to have all of it right now. Now let's come a little bit deeper into the Taurus archetype, and let's look at what Carl Jung's teachings are actually showing us and what connection and correlation there is between the Taurus archetype and the teachings of Carl Jung. And if you don't know who Carl Jung is, he was a Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst, and he really explored psychology and brought so many new ideas that we are using to this day into the world of psychology. But the cool thing about him was that he actually wasn't afraid to tap into the completely different side of a psychology or of this realm, because he was also interested in things like spirituality and even astrology. So that's why his teachings are so important and so amazing, because he really shows us the correlation between psychology and astrology. So let's talk about what he actually describes the Taurus energy to be like. So in his terms, actually the Taurus energy taps into the archetypal energy within ourselves of the Mother Earth and the provider of sustenance, because Mother Earth provides us with all of the necessary things that we need in order to live. And this is really the primal archetypal energy of Taurus. This is really the core of Taurus, to provide us the necessary resources in order for us to grow. And this is also reflected in the symbolic representation of Taurus, which is the bull, and it is seen as strength, fertility, and determination. And so it really reflects a powerful life force rooted in the earth, representing the ability to actually patiently cultivate and grow. And also when we think about what Carl Jung teachings were about, we also come across the archetypal energy within ourselves that stands for pleasure, which can be linked to the Taurus energy, because Taurus are ruled by Venus, which is the planet of pleasure and all of our senses. So Taurus is the energy and the archetypal energy within ourselves and within our own psyche that shows us where we find pleasure, and that shows us the area of our life where we will find that pleasure. And even further, when we think about that, every single person has few core needs. One of those core needs is the need of stability. And this is really, again, showed as the Taurean archetype, because Taurus is all about the stability. Because without the stability, we can't actually move forward within our lives. You can't focus on your self-expression. You can't focus on finding the things that bring you joy if you don't have the stability, if you don't have the one of the core needs met, which is exactly this. And really the shadow aspect within our psyche would really be materialism and resistance to change, and also really stubborn adherence to outdated patterns, or even to patterns that are actually hurting us and keeping us stuck in the same place. This would really be the shadow of the archetypal energy within our own psyche. So you would have to look at your chart and see where you have Taurus in, and then you could see and analyze if maybe you are too stubborn within that life area, and maybe if you could embrace a little bit change there, in order to actually move forward a little bit in that life area. This could be even the life area where you oftentimes are just feeling stuck. So take a look at your chart and tell me where you have Taurus in, and if you feel stuck in that life area. And so how can we integrate this archetype into our own psyche? And if you have your sun here in Taurus, how can you integrate the good sides and the primal archetypal energy of Taurus within your own life? First of all, you would do that by creating stability in your life, especially in the life area where you have your sun in. This will be the area where you really need to be able to cultivate stability, because this is really gonna ground you, and this is really gonna be one of your core needs in this lifetime. Also building a healthy appreciation towards sensory experiences, also embracing your patience and perseverance. So wherever you have that life area and you can use that energy to actually achieve your goals there, you can make sure that you use your patience and your ability to slowly build something in order to actually achieve your goals. Also really connecting with nature will be crucial for you if you have a lot of Taurus within your chart or a Taurus sun. So make sure that you make those weekly trips at least outside where you can connect to nature. It can look different for anybody, but just make sure that you find the time, even if it's taking a walk outside for like 50 minutes just to clear your head and to ground yourself. This is gonna be really, really important for you. And nurturing your relationships, not only being the provider, but also having the emotional capacity to actually connect with the people around you, not only seeing yourself as being the builder and the steady one and the provider of material sources, but also connecting on an emotional level, which can sometimes be a little bit hard for people with this placement. And also in general, finding the balance between materialism and spirituality, because you are so attuned to the material side of this reality that sometimes it's hard for you to actually connect to the spiritual side of life, because you can't see it, you can't touch it, you can't sense it, but it's still there, you can't deny it. So making sure that you find a healthy balance there, and that even though your main focus is gonna be on the material side of things, that you still are able to connect to the spiritual side of things. And this could actually really be shown through going on walks to the nature, because then you have something that is tangible, but you still feel the connection to the higher realms when you are in nature. So really, by consciously integrating the Taurus energy into your life, you can make sure that you use that archetypal energy to your advantage, that you are able to build something for yourself, that you are able to create stability for yourself in order to actually exceed in other life areas. So really, as I said in the beginning of the video, take out your chart, see where you have Taurus in, and then see how you can embrace the positive traits of that archetype within your own chart. And I hope that this video really again gave you another perspective on the zodiac signs and at the Taurus energy in general. I hope that I was able to show you how strongly it actually correlates with the archetypes within our own psyche and with our own needs that every one of us has. So if you like this video, if you aligned with what I was saying, or if you want to add something new to the conversation, write everything in the comments down below. I would love to answer any of your questions, and I would love to connect with you in the comments down below. Also, if you want to have more in-depth videos about topics like that, where I really share deep insights into psychological astrology with you, and I also give you monthly forecasts for each sign so that you can align with the energies that the cosmos has prepared for you, you can join my Patreon community now. It's officially launched, so go ahead, check all of my links in the description box down below. I will leave everything down for you. Also, if you want to apply for one-on-one coaching, check out my offers, and I will see you there. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and share that video with others so that I can grow and spread the message to more beautiful souls out here. Thank you so much for your time and for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.